Thank you.
Yep.
Hi, say this is the morning podcast with Jacob and Ethan.
This is hell. It's very much not a thing.
Right, but that wasn't intentional.
No. No, just Bang Rain came to my mind first. Like the instant I said it, I realized it was wrong.
Are you still listening to Skrillex these days?
Every now and again.
Okay, I'm getting worked up. I'm still not maxing out. Okay. Can you hit the mic to your face so I can get levels?
I want to do a little finger thing I always do with the. How does this gosh damn contraption work? Which lever do I?
Whichever one you want.
I don't understand. Okay.
There you go.
Okay, now it makes sense to me.
Get a little. Can you get a little higher? Like, because it's pointed at your chin right now. Or turn it.
This is
As long as it's pointed at your mouth, that's all that matters.
Where is my mouth currently? Is this
It's the
mouth?
place. Okay, that's good. Yeah. All right. So can you talk
Yeah, I'm talking right now.
and then get excited?
I'm not capable of that this morning. That's like my peak. The like gentle
Keep going.
increase of volume. I can't I won't be able to get loud. I can't do the thing
All right,
you do.
we'll set up for that. Yeah. So, good morning, everyone. My name is Jacob Urok, and welcome to the Breakfast is Hell podcast. I'm here joined by Zach Urok. Good morning, Zach.
Good morning. I'm tired.
Get pointed down at your face, the mic.
My face. Wow, we didn't even make it like 10
We didn't even make
seconds
it
of the
10
episode, but it was
seconds, yeah.
like fix where you're at because the audio quality is just not going to be there.
Well, I don't know. Heidi and I just did a podcast in the middle of a noisy Wichita restaurant. Sounds pristine. So, audio quality is important. We're at 6:45. I'm here in Kansas City because I decided I could not roll the dice and go to a dentist I didn't know because I just have bad experience after bad experience with rural dentists. So I'm going back to my old Kansas City dentist. I'm not taking any of that rural dentist shit.
That's fair. Like the weird thing is I think a lot of people would be comfortable going to like a strange doctor, but like dentist is something special, and I don't know if it's like their willingness to like make very altering decisions on your teeth with having no prior experience with them. And it's one of those things where you don't always get a second opinion on. So you need a dentist you can trust.
It's not even for health. I just don't want somebody there's a lot of people don't use the sharp little metal things right.
Oh, this is just about the implements? Because in my mind, it's like my wife went to a dentist that suggested like removing teeth and replacing them with a bridge. And
Does
she didn't
she
need
need to?
one. No, it was crazy, right?
Why?
I,
He needed some money.
because
He was going through
because
divorce?
because he didn't know her teeth very well. Just like if you've had braces in the past, it can cause like some stress on the teeth that becomes visible in the X-rays. And I guess to someone who either wasn't familiar with them or didn't know your full dental history, might be quicker to pull the trigger on bridges. Like she may need them when she's 80.
Yeah. Oh, so she might need them eventually.
Not in the near term, though. I think that's the, yeah. If a dentist doesn't have a relationship with your teeth and they just start like pretty far into looking, they see your teeth once, they don't know how they progressed over time. They might be making a snap decision on them, or like maybe they need like a new vacation house or something. I don't know. Do they take the oath that doctors do?
I mean, are they really doctors? Dentists?
I mean,
They're quasi-doctors, I guess.
they're
How complex can teeth be that we need separate doctors for teeth?
I think the regular doctors were like, "No, we're not dealing with those. Those are
Yeah,
gross."
like they're beneath us. Yeah, it's like what eye and teeth doctors are just the bitches of doctors.
The dentists are like, they're like the top of the Ponzi scheme, because your hygienists, they do all the work.
Oh yeah, a dentist just goes in there, like, make sure your teeth are. They monitor your teeth for the most part. Like, once in a while they have to perform surgery or something, but.
And they also do like the infomercial thing, like, you need this new toothbrush. You need this. Water flossers are a thing now.
Yeah.
I have both of them.
Are you water flossing?
I do
No.
water floss.
Well, if you don't water floss, your teeth will rot at the root and you will die. It's kind of the feeling I always get when I go to the dentist.
Yeah, well, they always wanted you to floss initially. And can we agree, as a society, nobody flosses daily?
I floss every few days.
All right, well, you're a psychopath. So most people, I don't think, floss daily. If you
I had like 7 cavities growing up.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
So I brushed every day, then I brushed twice a day. I flossed regularly, and even then, I just still had shitty teeth. So I do what I can to. And what's funny is that this dentist in Kansas City, he's like, "Yeah, you have great teeth." Like, that's nothing I've ever heard my whole life. So it made me wonder when he told me that. Like, did I really need all those fillings? But
I don't know. Or does the dentist you have now just want to flatter you?
right.
Do we just seek out dentists who tell us we have great teeth?
I seek out people who tell me what I want to hear.
Yeah, well, I mean, in a dentist, that's fine, right?
Right.
Like, your body will tell you if you're in pain. If you start eating and you get a sharp pain, you know what? Something wrong with your tooth.
Right.
You don't want preemptive you don't want preemptive fillings and,
No, I
I
don't
got
want
it.
I don't want like a righteous. I want a dentist who kind of doesn't give a shit. Cause I mean,
like a reactive dentist. Like,
right.
Oh, you're in pain now. Let's deal with this.
Right. I know how to treat you and your deformity, but yeah.
You're just looking for like
You can have a
personal
house too
experience.
clean because the houses get dirty eventually. You know, you don't want your house to be so spotless that every time someone plays with a toy, then it just feels wrong.
Yeah, you don't want to be the OCD parent. Like,
Right. Because I was marveling as I was getting ready this morning. I said, man, Zach's wife, she does a great job of... The house is, like, tidy, but not, like, fussy. You know what I mean?
yes, she does
Yes.
a great job of keeping the house in a livable state where it
Yeah.
also looks like people live there.
Functional cleanliness.
Functional. I like that word.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Functional cleanliness.
So I rolled through last night at 8 o'clock, and I said, Zach, can I get a spot? And maybe we can do a podcast. And Zach, the heretic, wanted to do it yesterday evening instead of waking up this morning. And I said, Zach, there's only one rule for this podcast. Breakfast is hell.
I just feel like we've got a difference in what's important to the podcast from a matter and a form standpoint. In my mind, it was the breakfast food because that was my experience, and I guess it turns out it's just requiring it to be in the morning, which on a Monday morning sucks because it's pre-work.
Yeah, I appreciate you getting up early to come on. And so the breakfast food, what do you feel like is required in the essence of breakfast is hell?
I mean, in my mind, it's the food.
We have coffee.
I don't know though. I don't have coffee.
Are you drinking an energy drink?
Yes, I'm drinking an energy drink because I'm
It's
getting up.
6:45 in the morning.
When do you want me to drink it at 5 o'clock? Like, that would make no sense. That's way too much caffeine for that late.
Oh, that sounds like the worst thing I could pour into my body right after waking up.
Well, I have to do something extra to get my body to feel like being awake.
What time do you usually get up?
I mean, not this early.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I'm usually up about now, but 10 or 15 minutes is a lot in sleep time. That's my life savings in sleep time. I just gave it up for this.
So by the way, could I leave my stuff here, and when I'm done with my appointment, I'll come back and put up my mics and stuff?
That's fine.
Because I was thinking this morning as I was getting ready, I was like, oh, I'm not going to have time to record and take down the setup.
Yep, that will be fine. We'll just have to time it so that I'm not on the phone for work.
Well, I'll just text you and ask you when it's a good time to come through.
Should be fine. Monday's a busy meeting day, I guess. Everyone's just so excited to get the week going, so
Yeah?
I spend a lot of Monday on the phone, and that's...
But you like Zoom world, right? You like...
I do, but I'm anti-show my face on camera.
Yeah, you can't just turn it off?
I lose a lot of confidence when people can see my face.
Okay, you could start wearing just like a mask or a veil.
Both of those things would probably be frowned upon by my coworkers.
Good job.
Like if I have a scream mask on, they might ask questions or like. You think if I put on the Richard Nixon mask, I could get away with that? Like
goggles, some kind of like, a bandana. I don't know, some kind of costume.
I could mask up in my
Right.
own basement.
Well, these people I see with the masks on in their cars, man. I mean, tell you what, there's nothing. The mask on the sidewalk is bad enough, but when you're driving a car by yourself and you're wearing a mask, what is the reason for that? I don't like. What is the actual reason?
I don't know. If they're worried about catching stupid, they already got it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm what, 2 weeks out from being fully vaccinated now at this point, but it's like, I kind of get the point of wearing a mask inside, even vaccinated, because it's like, you don't need to, but like, if you start letting people not do it, then everyone that doesn't do it, which everyone's pretty much stopping at this point anyway. But the whole like in the car, on the street thing, it just doesn't make sense.
I don't get to in the car by yourself. Although, you could do it by accident, I guess. Or if you're like close to your destination, you're like...
I guess maybe they don't want to take it off. Like they put it on and then they don't want to touch their face.
I don't know. I think... I don't know what it is. I don't know anyone who does it.
It's
or
a
I'd
sickness.
ask them. It could be. It could be.
Don't take my mask from me! So, Zach, how do you feel about President Biden?
What? That took a turn that I'm not willing to make.
You're not willing to...
No, I don't believe so, no.
No?
I'm going to keep my political opinions where there's no documented
You feel like your
evidence.
political opinions are dangerous?
To my own safety, yeah.
No, come on.
Yeah.
And how are your political opinions...
I don't know what my political opinions have to do with anything.
We don't have to talk about your political opinions, but how do you feel like why is it not safe to declare your political opinions in a public
I
forum?
brought this up on the first podcast, cancel culture, and whether it's, the problem is it's always moving, right? So people now are getting...
We mentioned... It's funny because we mentioned cancel culture in the first podcast, but we never actually delved into it.
Yeah, we gave a description of what it was and tidily moved on.
When we sang a song to it, and then...
Yeah, Ethan was on and it turned into a musical number.
Right, right. As it so often does.
Right.
Yeah.
We didn't get to the discussion. In fact, maybe discussing it is dangerous, too. We don't know what the future will look like.
Well, I do find it funny that somehow, not immediately, like right now, but about a month ago, how I noticed that like a bunch of podcasts and like news organizations were characterizing it as a right-wing talking point, which is like such a strangely dismissive way to talk about something that is kind of real.
Well, it's becoming more real for everyone. I think like it's just the concern of saying something now, having it in a archive, permanent,
Right, and somehow, sometime it comes up.
The political correctness line moves past what you said, and all of a sudden, you said something that's documented that's too far for the public sensibility.
Yeah, that's a weird thing too. Well, and also just like, I don't even want to talk about like not even just a moving political line, but you do something you shouldn't do at 20, right? And then when you're 40, you're like still guilty for that crime. I don't know. It's like,
yeah, no, that's crazy.
That's a crazy thing.
Somehow we're allowed to like commit actual crimes, do our time in prison, and then be considered rehabilitated, but you can't like have gone too far with a joke or done something stupid in your teens and not be guilty of that crime just the same way 30 years later. Like, what kind of crazy standard is that? Most of us were morons as teenagers. I'm sure we regret tons of things we did. I regret every awkward, weird thing I did.
Yeah.
Just being a goofy teenager with all the
mean,
angst and stuff.
But wasn't it fun during the Me Too era just to see somebody fall every day? Wasn't it thrilling? See, I think that's what people are after. The thrill of toppling the stone.
Do you think it's the mob mentality? It's like the old Roman mobs, like tearing down the street going to take out a patrician, like being able to take out someone that was powerful that you knew about and you could make them go away. Do you think it's the thrill of that?
Yes. I think that's what it is now. What cancel culture, like the desire to cancel people, that's where that comes from. Because the idea of deplatforming, so like I see this as like a criticism. Well, of Joe Rogan, Joe Rogan's podcast has gone down the shitter as of late, but like I've seen this as a criticism of his podcast so many times. Is well, he had such and such guests on, he gave them a platform. Like, he entered into a dialogue with someone whose opinions he disagreed with, and, like, that is a bad thing. So, I feel like I don't know what point I was trying to make with that, but that's probably the part of it. Like, I get, how do I put it? Like, you want to cancel someone, you want to, like, make it so that, like, you talk bad about them, so their sponsorships and all their movie deals, like, anyone that takes them on is going to have to take on all that weight. But, like, the things, it's not even, like, past crimes. It's just, like, you need to get rid of anybody who you think associates with anyone you think is dangerous. Like, it's not even you. It's like, oh, I had noted, anti-dog, hater of dogs, Ethan Yurok, which is not true, but you know what I mean. Like, that is like, it could be held against me. Like, don't you want to live in a world where, like, you bring on people with opinions you don't like and you talk about it and you have discussion? And
well, I'm sure there are a lot of people that would like to live the way where you could have an opposing viewpoint, and we got, as a society, it felt like growing up, and I don't have no way of knowing this was whether it was true or not because I was a child. But we felt like a society that agreed on 80% and we argued over the 10% on the edges. And now we feel like a society that disagrees on 80% and we only agree on the 20% in the very middle of, like, some things are heinously bad that we can't have happen. Although that is eroding fast too.
I think it comes back to my idea that people should, like, have a degree of doubt about their certainty. Like, quit being so certain that everything you believe to be right is, like, completely right. And then, like, not only, and, like, assuming the worst of people who disagree with you, thinking it's, like, a moral fault if they disagree with, yeah.
And even if you think they're wrong, there's a big difference between having a disagreement on a policy issue and them being a communist or them being a Nazi. Like,
well,
we're very extreme in all of our language, and it's not helpful.
Right. I don't like Donald Trump, and I don't like fascism, but that, like, Donald Trump is not therefore a fascist. I don't like the stormers of the Capitol, and I don't like white supremacists, but, like, are you cold?
Very cold.
Why don't you grab a blanket?
Well, like, it's a tired cold.
You're
like,
so shivering.
Well, have you ever just been, like, you're tired, so your body's like, oh, I'm cold. It's like a malfunction.
Can you turn up the heat?
It's like you boot up your computer and you get a random error message and it's like, software not installed. And you're like, but no, I have that software installed. It's just misfiring because it's tired. Poor computer. Poor me.
I was trying to say is, I don't like the Capitol the Capitol rioters, and I didn't like white supremacists. I don't like white supremacists. Still don't. But that does not therefore mean that the Capitol rioters are white supremacists. You know what? I feel like, let me apply this really bad term to this thing I don't like. I don't know. Is that, you got your thoughts out on it?
I think I've gone as far as I'm willing to go.
Yeah.
I'm cold. My body's rejecting morning.
You're not gonna put a blanket. I have that flannel. You can wear that flannel.
No, I'll push through this. We're not the Donner Party, like going over the mountains with no food. I can manage another 20, 30 minutes without the benefit of being super comfortable.
Yeah.
I'll be super raring to go for the workday though. That'll be the most firing I've been since a while. You know, I can't remember the last time I got up more than an hour before I started work.
Oh, don't you like to wake up before the kids are up, make a cup of coffee? I guess you get that at night because they go to bed pretty early.
Right. The night's the thing you hold on to because with the morning, it's a variable. You don't know when they're going to wake up. The right answer is always before you. Like, they somehow, you get up at 6:30, guess what? They're up at 6:25.
They could just sense it.
Yes.
Or maybe it's their stirring that wakes you up, or...
Well, you say they're stirring, but their stirring is like bursting into the room like the Kool-Aid man. Like, it's morning, wake up! And it's like, but it's not the morning I want to be up in. And holidays, like Easter, 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning. Like, it just gets earlier and earlier the older they get, and I know that's coming. Because we still...
Oh, no, they'll start sleeping in later the older they get, won't
Well, there's like a peak, right? They get that peak part of childhood where they're fully aware of the holiday and it's still magical. Like Christmas morning, you'll be up at 3:30, just dying.
Oh, do you do presents Christmas morning?
Well, that's when Santa brings them.
No, we always did them Christmas Eve.
I wonder if that's like most people I know Christmas morning.
I think I don't know how people do it generally.
Well, I feel like the whole thing is Santa comes at night, drives down the chimney.
We should stop this Santa and Easter Bunny nonsense. Should we stop doing it?
We should stop talking about it so loudly because I have little ears in the house.
Look,
they're owed the same magic I received as a child. That's just...
Do we want to keep just giving letting our kids down?
It's part of like child human rights at this point. We just we owe it to them because we got the magic. Because you know what? There's plenty of time to get to adulthood. When you get to be an adult, you get all the privileges, but you realize that all the joy and imagination and wonder you had as a little child is dead. So you let them enjoy it while they can, because they'll never feel that again. Until they have their own children, they can kind of vicariously remember the magic, but it's gone.
You don't feel like there's any magic to adulthood?
Not really. Not magic and whimsy.
There's movies. I don't know.
There's movies like...
There's love.
Well, there's love, but there's not there's not a whimsical
There's no large fat bearded man dropping presents down.
Or a giant bunny hopping around with candy baskets. It's not... Those are the kind of things that make it feel like you're living in a magical world, and it's but no, it's not... Everything's much less magical. The only people who deliver stuff to your house are USPS, FedEx.
They're pretty magical, but...
Well, they don't dress magical.
No, they dress... Yeah.
I mean, UPS, they just wear the, brown uniforms. It's, very... They could blend in with a tree, They
ought to have, little confetti poppers that they pop whenever they show up at your house.
Here's a fun idea for all the parcel delivery services. Dress your employees in, seasonal outfits. How fun would that be? Dress them up like Easter bunnies during Easter time. Around Christmas, I know they're really busy and it's an awful time of year for them, but maybe they would feel better dressed as Santa Claus.
Could you imagine?
As an adult, having your Amazon package show up as Santa.
I'm sure those people already hate their jobs enough. But the only worst thing would be if they had to do costumes.
Yeah, I think that's probably accurate.
Yeah.
Well, I know they bring a lot of seasonal help on for...
They do bring a lot of seasonal help on.
So make them dress in the Christmassy stuff. You know? I'm just looking for Christmas. I don't want someone dressed as a turkey for Thanksgiving.
No, now I get shot. Does anybody dress up as a turkey? People dress up as pilgrims or Indians, Native Americans, but do they do...
Those are all symbols. You can't dress up as a Native American anymore.
You can't do that?
I don't think so, no.
Why not?
I think you can either be a Native American, and that's how you dress, or you can be a non-Native American and not dress up like a Native American.
Is it wrong to wear a sombrero on Cinco de Mayo?
Morally or politically?
Yes.
That's the question, right? Don't do it. Don't wear... This is a PSA to everyone, all the 10 people listening to this podcast. Don't wear a sombrero. Don't wear the little drapey blanket thing. Poncho.
The
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That wasn't me saying something like
Right.
that was me physically unable
You
to
weren't
remember.
denigrating the poncho. You were
Right.
just searching for the word.
I'm giving the poncho all the veneration it deserves.
Right.
My brain is not with it. So it
Right.
has nothing to do with it.
Right.
I'm not trying to be insensitive.
We as
Please
white
don't
males
cancel me.
are aware of our privilege when it comes to the poncho.
That's right.
Right. Is that a sufficient declaration of wokeness?
Well, I think that's what we're striving for.
Because everyone knows us to be performatively woke.
We're very woke. Cinco de Mayo, I'm going to celebrate from a distance but not participate directly.
Right. I encourage the celebration of Cinco de Mayo, but I would never dare appropriate the Mexican culture in my celebration of it.
That's right.
Right.
It's important.
Costumes are immoral.
That's right.
French colonialism, because you don't think of France as a particularly powerful country.
Oh, they were a powerhouse back in the 1800s.
They had Algiers. They were in Vietnam for a bit, weren't they, too?
Very long time. Vietnam, a lot of Africa. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of islands, but Africa, a lot of French territory.
Isn't that weird that we were all just kind of taking over the world for a little while?
Well, we were
Because America still kind of is.
We were laying out the board for World War I. America, very, very uninvolved in colonialism. We had dabbled in it in Cuba and Philippines, and
the United States practices contemporary day colonialism.
I mean, what would that term even mean? And this is getting dangerously political.
We have Puerto Rico. We took Alaska. We took Hawaii. We had Cuba. We're in Iraq now. We're in Afghanistan.
I don't think some of those places are as controlled as you make them sound.
You don't think?
I don't think we practice modern day colonialism because I'm not sure what that term would mean at this point.
Economic colonial. I don't even know what it means. I'm just trying to be woke. I'm just trying to be aware of.
If only we could have been on that call with the 100 major corporations determining what their policy was going to be.
Wait, what?
Towards social issues.
Was that a real thing?
Yeah, it's fun.
Now I have to think it's a cold day in hell when I watch Mitch McConnell, when I'm seeing the owner of the largest corporation in the United States supporting a hike in the corporate tax rate, and then I'm watching Mitch McConnell tell corporations to stay out of politics, because if that isn't the complete opposite of everything I've been raised with, I don't know what is.
I think we're enjoying a nice political theater.
I'm watching like Republicans turn against corporations, and I'm loving it because it's just like, but you're supposed to agree with us. You're supposed to agree with us. What are you doing?
I don't think that's necessarily the what's happening is
You're on our side. We're on the side of business.
But that's not really the case. What it's about is it's finally like companies are trying to have it both ways. They want their tax cuts and they want their friendly economic environments to do business in, and they also want to kowtow to what they believe their most vocal customers want. They're trying to get everything so they can just keep accumulating a pile of money. And it's just not going to work. They're going to have to pick one or another. Do they want their woke consumers or do they want their friendly tax environments? Like they're going to have to pick one or the other. And I, for one, am enjoying people holding them to the fire for falling on one side or the other.
So you don't give business. I've kind of give business a little bit of credit. I feel like business, it's not just appealing to the woke consumer. It's a real, a real political consciousness and feeling that they need to help ensure social justice and the viability of the climate.
I don't know what
I got to go get my teeth cleaned.
Yep.
Thanks for coming on.